be more than human.
Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Joseph Carroll. I write under the pen name J.R. Carroll, and today I am doing my monthly wrap up for July, as well as what do I have coming up on the channel for the month of August. And so let's kind of jump straight into what am I going to be doing next month aside from just reading books. So on the 20th, we will be having our Witcher discussion for the Sword of Destiny, and that will be me, JC and Byrne, Bryce from Shelf Centered, and of course my friend Nathan will pop in because he's a huge Witcher fan as well. Then I will be having, hopefully, we haven't got the date nailed down, but hopefully I will be having a live chat with Sarah from Sarah Reads. She is one of my all-time favorite booktubers, and of course she was with me from the beginning of our year-long Dresden Files discussions. And then it's looking like maybe this coming week, I will be on some OK Dude channel. He reached out to me and asked if I'd come on his channel. And I am, I love to, of course, host stuff. But I love just as much being on other people's channels and just chatting with them. So if you happen to have your own channel and you do chat formats, I try to make myself as much available as possible, because that's what it's all about. It's all about just getting out, hanging out, and talking about books and writing and reading and all that good stuff. All right, so let's get into the best book I read, the most surprising book I read, and the most disappointing book I've read. Luckily this month I did not have very many bad books, if any, books. So even we'll start with the most surprising book of the month, and for me that is going to be Tender is the Flesh will be my surprising book. Coming in, I actually did not expect it to be as well written as it was. A lot of it is very technical, but it just surprised me because I expected just a big gore fest, and that's not necessarily what you got with that book. It's more shock factor about the way they've restructured the world, and how people are just basically cattle now. And the very detailed way that is written is what made it really shocking. But yes, I was very surprised that I liked it as much as I did. And I would highly recommend. It's always at the top of those most disturbing book lists that if you see, it's always in the top 10 there. Rightfully so. Not I wouldn't say it's close to the most disturbing book I've read, but definitely worth a read. My most disappointing book of the month, and this it's not necessarily, it wasn't a bad book at all, but I was just maybe I was expecting a little bit more, and that was Hyperion. Some parts of it were top notch, and then other parts, I just didn't really care much for. It's just one of those super high, super low type books that and it kind of evens out to being a good book. I'm really hoping that the next book will take it to the next level. But who knows? It's a very trippy book. So it could go anyway. I know Dan Simmons loves to write horror and those type of books. So, but Hyperion's definitely worth a read. It's one of those legendary sci-fi books that everybody needs to read, right? But so this was a hard one for me to decide, but I think I'm gonna go with A Clash of Kings, Book 2 in A Song of Ice and Fire. Um, yeah, this book, though it is crazy long, and if you've watched my channel, you know I'm not a fan of gigantic books, but George really knows what he's doing. He keeps control of the narrative so strongly. When you bounce back and forth between characters, you know at least I know exactly where I'm at. I never lose my place, never have to jump back, which a lot of these books, once they get over 700 pages, a lot of times, especially if you have multiple POVs, a lot of times you'll start losing track of where you're at, and you never have that. I never had that issue with George. So I am crazy excited to continue with the Song of Ice and Fire. I'm gonna catch up so I can complain with everybody else that it's not finished, but also honorable mention to Lightbringer. Excellent book. I can't wait till I assume next year Red God will be out and that'll be the finale. I finished Sandman Slim too, so we're catching up on all these series and finishing them off slowly but surely. Let me know, what did you read? What was your favorite book or your most disappointing book of the month of July? And what do you have coming up? What's your big plans for reading? Heck, if you're doing a vacation, what's your big plans for next month? Let me know. We're almost to 2,000 subscribers. When we hit 2,000, I'm going to be giving away a book. Could be you. If you're not subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And remember, be more than human.